Thank you for turning this on. We are now going to go to Genesis 008. The Canaanites were quite extensive of the lineage of Ham. Lineage of Shem, Eber is the beginning of the Hebrew or Hebrew people. Elam lineage was the Elamites, Asher or Syrian, Aram, which developed the language of Aramic. This was the language used by Jesus. Passion of Christ by Mel Gibson, language was Aramic. The lineage of Uz came Job. Uz is part of Jordan. The canopy of the earth is now gone thanks to the flood, and atmospheric pressure was cut in half. This is why dinosaurs didn't make it past the flood, because their lives couldn't be sustained by the new earth. New earth because all the geological changes with so much more water on the land and atmospheric changes and such. It was too much for the dinosaur birds and fish. Land creatures obviously drowned. The whole earth still had one language and one speech. In the Mesopotamian River Valley, Cush started building the city of Babel and the Tower of Babel. When Cush passed on, Nimrod took it over. The Tower of Babel started to worship gods of the zodiac. The Lord came down to visit the tower, and us, or God, Trinity, came down and said, whatever man has put his mind to, he can do. And if you step back into the one I did concerning giants and the Nephilim, you will understand that a lot of the education that man got at that time came from them, and that is where they got the knowledge to be able to build the Tower of Babel. We shall put a stop to this and confuse their languages. See Genesis 11:12. The lineage of Shem, Terah had a son named Abram, Ner, and Haran. Haran is also the name of a place. Haran begot Lot. That's right, Lot was Abram's nephew and was quite the worldly person. Abram, in the beginning, was a pagan worshiper. Abram became known as the father of those who believe. God told Abram to get out of his country, away from his family and people. He was to go to the land of Canaan and create the land of Israel, and God would make him a great nation, which to date Israel is 7.2 million, with 5.6 million being Jew. $10 billion annual revenue is its economy. Number 4 in the world for exporting citrus fruit. Number 3 for exporting flowers. I will make your name great. Even God identifies himself as being the God of Abraham. Less than 2/3 of 1% of the population are Jews, yet they have claimed 33% of all Nobel Prizes given out. Without the Jewish population, there would be no Ten Commandments or Savior. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. This was from God to Abraham. This is not to be taken or shared by yourself. So far to date, anyone who curses will face God's wrath. Abram means exalted father. Abram took a wife named Sarai. Ner's wife was Milcah. Abram took his wife and nephew Lot with him into the land of Haran. God had said to Abraham to rise and get out of the country, which is Mesopotamia, to a land I will show you, which was going to be Canaan. He arose and gathered up his wife, father-in-law, and nephew to Ur of the Chaldeans. That's where he stopped. Now referred to as Iraq. So far, so bad. He was to take no family. He went instead to Ur of the Chaldeans, the greatest, most culturally advanced city of the time. It had 200,000 people. It was also the largest centers of idolatry. In the center of town was a huge temple with a ziggurat, or tower, that stretched into heaven. It was full of gods. Take a pause here for a moment and remember when I spoke of the hierarchy of God, and to know that there were in fact lesser gods in heaven. Joshua 24 tells us more about Abram's background. He speaks of Abram surrounded with idolatry. Terah was a dealer in idolatry, and Abram was his assistant. Abram dealt in idolatry. Haran, his brother, died before his father Terah. Terah told his son to worship the other gods, and Haran refused to, and it led to Haran's death before his father. After Terah dies, then Abram takes Sarai and goes into the land which God names. Acts 7 has Stephen recounting this act. Thank you for taking a look with me into the Bible. Next, we will take on Genesis 008.